What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and this episode 5 of Pokemon Theme Deck Fusion is going to be a pretty important one. We're even going to break the rules a little bit, but more on that in a moment. Sometimes when you're building a deck and playtesting a deck, you come to a point where you kind of realize that things just aren't right, and you have to ask yourself, why? Um, so at the start of this whole thing, I knew we had Articuno and Heliolisk were going to be the main theme of our deck. I mean, they're the theme Pokemon of the two decks we started with, Heliolisk, Articuno. They're right here. And both of them get energy. Now, when I looked at those starter decks, I thought to myself, naturally, what is the theme? Who's going to be our aggressor? Who's going to be the thing we're trying to power up? What's our mission? And I saw Salamence. And I thought automatically, okay, there's our attacker. There's our big aggressive Mon. He was easily the biggest hitter, and I like Salamence, and I wanted to use Salamence. And I thought, oh, getting energy. Salamence needs energy. Seems logical, right? Well, to be honest, I think that's probably a place where I didn't think things all the way through. As I've been playtesting, I found something pretty crucial out. As we've been playing, the problem is we can get Salamence powered up once, but that's basically about it. And after that, it becomes something of a challenge, because after all, you Steam Blast once, attaching one energy per turn, realistically, you're not going to get there. It's just not going to be quite enough to make a difference. And we can score 1 to 2 big knockouts, but we'll never get enough to win a game. Seems to be the problem, unless our opponent's moving a little slowly themselves. So I looked at it, and I was thinking about changing the whole deck just to accommodate Salamence, but that's probably not the way to go. And that's when it occurred to me. I've got a brilliant engine here. We've got a deck that's very good at searching for energies, economically and quickly. We can do it quickly, we can do it efficiently, we can go get energies. That's what we do. But Salamence is not a very good thing to do with that engine. And rather than change the entire engine and the entire deck to end up being kind of a poor way to support Salamence, who deserves his own deck and a different kind of support mechanism, really what we need to do, if we're honest with ourselves, is change Salamence out. And that's what we're going to do this week. We're just going to remove Salamence. We found something that makes a lot more sense with our engine entirely than Salamence ever did. Which means we're going to be actually switching out Salamence altogether, which means a bigger than a 5-card switch. But Salamence and all of his components are going to go away. But that's okay, because we've got somebody who makes a lot more sense here who's going to take his place. So that's 3 Bagons, 2 Shelgons, and our 2 Salamences, which are all going to go away. Also, since the new Pokemon we're going to pick is not a dragon, these double dragons pretty much have to go because they make absolutely no sense in the deck, and there's really no point in leaving them in when there's nothing for them to work on and they're literally just 2 dead cards. So those are going to turn into basic energies. So of course the question is, well, if we're good at getting energies into our hand, what can we use that for? And it would seem pretty obvious that what we're looking for is somebody with the primal trait Alpha Growth, who can actually get 2 energies attached per turn instead. And then it makes perfect sense to be searching up lots of energies and putting them into our hand, because we'll have a place to put them. And there's a Stage 2 family that does a very good job of using those extra energies from that Alpha Growth, and that is Swampert. And I've been wanting to build a different kind of deck around Swampert, and that's going to come too. But, in the meantime, this Swampert makes a lot of sense here too. And his diving search will help us a lot with some of our one-ofs and whatnot. This guy is going to be able to absorb lots of energies and do everything we really needed Salamence to do in the first place. It's just that Salamence wasn't the right Mon for the job, was basically how it broke down. So our 3 Bagons are going to turn into 3 Mudkips. Our 2 Shelgons are going to turn into 2 Marsh Stomps. And finally, our 2 Salamences are going to turn into 2 Swamperts. And our 2 Double Dragon energies are just going to turn into regular old basic water energies. And that's going to be our change. It's more than 5 cards, but basically all we're doing is we're just transferring this stuff into this stuff. It's just a straight up trade-off. And we're going to see how this goes. But honestly, it makes a lot more sense with what the core of our deck is, and I think it's the direction our deck needed to go. And rather than split this change up over 2 weeks for no real reason, we're just making one big switch and getting it over with. So, anyway, that is the deck. Those are the changes. I'm really looking forward to playtesting this, and seeing where it goes from there. And if you're playing along at home, I hope you enjoy this deck this week because I think it's going to be a lot better. So anyway, until next time, like, comment, subscribe, check us out on Twitter if you haven't already. Link is down below, and I will see you next time.